Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Meetings Assistance for Jehovah's Witnesses. I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we are going to analyze and respond to the questions from this week's Watchtower study. This study corresponds to the week of September 1st to 7th and is titled, Let Us Humbly Accept the Things We Do Not Know. Without further delay, let's begin. Let's look at question number 1. What ability did Jehovah give us, and why? Jehovah gave us the ability to think, learn, and apply what we learn so that we can know Him and make right decisions that honor Him. Additional comments. Proverbs 2:1-5 shows that the ability to reason is a gift we must actively use to seek the knowledge of God. By striving to understand His will, we strengthen our relationship with Him and make wiser decisions. Romans 12:1 highlights that using our mind to reason correctly is part of offering God's sacred service. When we apply what we learn in our daily life, we show true devotion and gratitude to Him. Let's look at question number 2, Part A. What must we recognize? Job 37:23-24, see also the picture. We must recognize that although we have the ability to learn and reason, our knowledge is limited and will never compare to Jehovah's wisdom. Recognizing this keeps us in a humble position before Him. Additional comments. Job 37:23-24 shows that although we have understanding, our wisdom is very small compared to Jehovah's. Recognizing this difference teaches us not to be self-sufficient and to value the guidance He gives us. Let's look at question number 2, Part B. How does being modest and recognizing that we do not know everything benefit us? Being modest benefits us because it helps us accept that we will not always have all the answers, and that moves us to trust more in Jehovah's guidance. This attitude prevents us from relying only on our own opinion and opens the door to receive His direction to make right decisions. Additional comments. Proverbs 2:6 highlights that true wisdom comes from Jehovah. By being modest and admitting that we do not know everything, we become more receptive to His direction and make more balanced and beneficial decisions. Let's look at question number 3. What will we analyze in this article? In this article, we will analyze some things we do not know and how those limitations can be a challenge for us. In addition, we will see that not knowing everything can be beneficial, as it teaches us to trust that Jehovah will give us the necessary information at the right time. Additional comments. Job 37:16 highlights that Jehovah is perfect in knowledge, while we have limited understanding. This difference helps us rely on His wisdom rather than worry about what we do not know. This text also teaches us that not knowing certain things is not a disadvantage, but an opportunity to strengthen our trust in Jehovah's guidance. By accepting this reality, we avoid the anxiety of wanting to control everything and cultivate patience and faith. Let's move on to the first subheading. We do not know when the end will come. Let's look at question number 4. According to Matthew 24. 36. What do we not know? We do not know the exact date or hour when the end of this system will come. That information is under Jehovah's authority, and it is not possible for humans to discover it on their own. Additional comments. Matthew 24:36 shows that not even Jesus knew the exact date while he was on earth. This teaches us not to speculate or try to guess, but to remain watchful and spiritually prepared. Acts 1:6-7 highlights that Jehovah is the one who has authority over times and dates. Trusting in his decision helps us focus on what we can do now, strengthen our faith and carry out our Christian work. Let's look at question number 5. How can not knowing exactly when the end will come affect us? Not knowing the exact date of the end can make us impatient, discouraged, or feel that the wait is too long. It can also be difficult to endure the mockery of others, especially if we have been serving Jehovah for years and are still waiting for its fulfillment. Additional comments. 2 Peter 3:3 For shows that some will mock and cast doubt on the promise of the end. Such comments can discourage us, but they also remind us that these attitudes are a sign that its fulfillment is getting closer. This text highlights that the prolonged wait can test our patience and faith. Instead of being discouraged, we should see it as an opportunity to strengthen our trust in Jehovah and demonstrate our loyalty despite difficulties. Let's look at question number 6. Why is it good that we do not know the date of the end? It is good that we do not know the date of the end because this way we show that we serve Jehovah out of love and not out of interest or convenience. This helps us maintain sincere and steady faith, focused on what God will accomplish and not just on when it will happen. Additional comments. 2 Peter 3:11 shows that, by not knowing the date, we are motivated to maintain an irreproachable conduct at all times. We do not live in anticipation of a countdown but strive to please Jehovah every day. 2 Peter 3:12 highlights that we should focus on what the day of Jehovah will accomplish, not on its exact date. This focus strengthens our relationship with God and moves us to remain active in His service no matter how long remains. Let's look at question number 7. What do we know? We know that since 1914 we have been living in the last days and that Bible prophecies confirm that the end is near. We also know that Jehovah has given us the task of preaching the good news of the kingdom to all people, even though we do not know the exact date. Additional comments. Zephaniah 1:14 indicates that the great day of Jehovah is near, which motivates us to remain watchful and focused on our spiritual work. This knowledge gives us confidence that the fulfillment of His promises is very close. Matthew 24:14 shows that the worldwide preaching work is a clear sign of the last days. Knowing this encourages us to participate actively in this work, showing faith and urgency without needing to know the exact date of the end. Let's move on to the second subheading. We do not know what Jehovah can do to help us. Let's look at question number 8. What does the expression, the activity of the true God, refer to? Ecclesiastes 11 verse 5. The expression, the activity of the true God, refers to everything Jehovah does or allows to fulfill his will. We do not always understand why certain things happen or how he will act in specific situations, but we trust that everything is part of his purpose. Additional comments. Ecclesiastes 11:5 shows that there are aspects of God's work that are beyond our human understanding. This teaches us to accept our limitations and to trust that Jehovah always acts with perfect wisdom. Psalm 37:5 highlights the importance of committing our way to Jehovah. Even if we do not know how he will act in each case, fully trusting in him gives us peace and security while we wait for his solutions. Let's look at question number 9. What challenges might we face by not knowing what Jehovah will do to help us? Not knowing how Jehovah will act to help us can cause indecision or insecurity when making important decisions, such as changing our priorities or taking on new spiritual responsibilities. It can also make us doubt his support when things do not turn out as we expected, which could discourage us or make us feel we lack his approval. Additional comments. This paragraph shows that the lack of visible results does not mean Jehovah is not helping us. His guidance may manifest in ways we do not immediately understand, but it always has a purpose in harmony with his will. Accepting that we will not always see Jehovah's help immediately strengthens our patience and trust in him. Instead of becoming discouraged, it encourages us to keep acting with faith, even when the results are not yet visible. Let's look at question number 10. By not knowing how Jehovah will act, what qualities can we develop? Not knowing how Jehovah will act helps us cultivate humility and modesty, recognizing that his decisions and ways are superior to ours. It also strengthens our trust in him, as we learn to rely on his guidance, give him the credit for successes, and remain calm when things do not turn out as we expected. Additional comments. Isaiah 55:8-9 shows that Jehovah's thoughts are far above ours. Accepting this teaches us to be modest and to trust that his decisions, even if we do not always understand them, are always the best. Psalm 127:1 and 1 Corinthians 3:7 highlight that all true success comes from Jehovah. This perspective helps us remain humble, recognizing that our efforts have value only when he blesses them. Let's look at question number 11. What important things do we know? We know that Jehovah is loving, just, and wise, and that he appreciates everything we do to serve him and help our brothers. We also know that he always rewards those who show loyalty to him, which gives us confidence to keep striving to please him. Additional comments. Hebrews 11:6 shows that Jehovah rewards those who seek him with faith. This certainly motivates us to remain constant in our works, even when the results are not immediate. This text also highlights that Jehovah values every act of loyalty. Keeping this truth in mind strengthens our motivation to keep serving him with enthusiasm and confidence, no matter the difficulties. Let's move on to the third subheading. We do not know what will happen tomorrow. Let's look at question number 12. According to James 4:13-14, what do we not know? We do not know what will happen in the future or if we will even be alive tomorrow. Life is uncertain and can change unexpectedly, so we cannot be sure that our plans will be fulfilled. Additional comments. James 4:13-14 shows that life is fragile and brief, and that making plans without considering Jehovah is unwise. Recognizing this reality motivates us to rely on His guidance instead of trusting only in our own plans. Ecclesiastes 9:11 highlights that unexpected events can alter our plans at any moment. This teaches us to be humble and flexible, trusting that Jehovah knows what is best for our future. Let's look at question number 13. Why can not knowing what will happen tomorrow be a challenge? Not knowing what will happen tomorrow can create anxiety, frustration, or discouragement, especially when unexpected events, tragedies, or unfulfilled expectations affect our peace and joy. Additional comments. Proverbs 13:12 shows that unfulfilled expectations can weaken the heart. This reality teaches us to keep realistic expectations and to trust more in Jehovah's timing and will than in our own projections. This text also highlights that negative surprises can steal our joy if we do not face them with faith. Trusting in Jehovah helps us recover our spirits and see trials as temporary. Let's look at question number 14. On what does true happiness depend? See also the images. True happiness does not depend on knowing what will happen in the future or being free from problems. It depends on trusting in Jehovah, seeking His guidance, and obeying Him, showing that we serve Him out of love regardless of the circumstances. Additional comments. Jeremiah 10:23 shows that we cannot fully direct our own path. Recognizing this truth helps us rely on Jehovah to make decisions that lead to true and lasting happiness. James 4:15 highlights the importance of including Jehovah in our plans. By doing so, we accept that He is in control and that His guidance is the key to enjoying a balanced and satisfying life. Let's look at question number 15. What do we know about the future? We know that Jehovah has promised everlasting life and that all His promises come true without fail. We can be sure that nothing will stop Him from loving us, giving us strength to endure hardships, and blessing us while we wait for the fulfillment of His purpose. Additional comments. Titus 1:2 shows that Jehovah cannot lie and, therefore, His promises are absolutely reliable. This certainty fills us with hope and motivates us to remain firm in the faith. Isaiah 46:10 highlights that Jehovah declares the end from the beginning, demonstrating His complete control over the future. Trusting in this ability helps us stay calm and confident even in times of uncertainty. Let's move on to the fourth subheading. We cannot fully understand how well Jehovah knows us. Let's look at question number 16. Although it amazes us, what does Jehovah know about us? Psalm 139:1-6. Jehovah knows every aspect of us, how we are physically, emotionally, and mentally. He knows what we say, what we think, what we do, and our true intentions. He is always watching over us, and we are never outside of His care and protection. Additional comments. Psalm 139. 1-6 shows that Jehovah knows us on a deep level that is beyond human reach. This knowledge should fill us with confidence, because it means He understands our struggles and needs even before we express them. This passage also highlights that Jehovah surrounds us with His constant care and attention. Knowing this gives us comfort and motivates us to live with integrity, aware that He is always mindful of our life. Let's look at question number 17. Why might it be hard for us to accept that Jehovah knows us so well? It may be hard for us to accept that Jehovah knows us so well due to factors such as upbringing, culture, or previous beliefs that portray Him as distant. In addition, past mistakes or changes we struggle to make can make us feel unworthy of His attention or misunderstood. Additional comments. Psalm 38. 18 shows that feelings of guilt can make us think Jehovah rejects us. Recognizing this helps us remember that His forgiveness is greater than our past mistakes. Psalm 38. 21 highlights that even if we feel far from Jehovah, He does not abandon us. This truth motivates us to draw close to Him with confidence and to keep striving to live according to His will. Let's look at question number 18. Why is it good to accept that Jehovah knows us better than we know ourselves? See also the images. It is good to accept that Jehovah knows us better than we know ourselves because He sees both our weaknesses and our potential. This gives us confidence to serve Him with joy, even when we do not see all our qualities or doubt our own worth. Additional comments. Romans 7:15 shows that sometimes we do not fully understand our own actions or feelings. Knowing that Jehovah does understand them frees us from excessive guilt and helps us trust more in His love. This text also highlights that Jehovah sees what we can become, not just what we are now. This perspective encourages us to keep striving and not to give up because of our present limitations. Let's look at question number 19. What do we know about Jehovah? We know that Jehovah is loving and always wants the best for us. He provided the ransom so that we can please Him despite our imperfections, and He assures us that His love and deep knowledge enable us to do His will and gain everlasting life. Additional comments. 1 John 4:8 shows that love is the very essence of Jehovah. This truth gives us confidence that all His standards and decisions are motivated by His deep care for us. 1 John 3:19-20 highlights that Jehovah knows our heart better than we do. This comforts us because He sees our sincere efforts even when we feel unworthy or limited. Let's look at question number 20. What will help us not worry unnecessarily? To avoid worrying unnecessarily, we must humbly accept that Jehovah gives us the information we need and focus on what truly matters. Trusting in His perfect knowledge helps us live with peace now and maintain hope in the eternal learning we will have in the future. Additional comments. Job 36:4 shows that Jehovah is perfect in knowledge, assuring us that we are never lacking essential information. This confidence frees us from the anxiety of wanting to know everything immediately. Ecclesiastes 3:11 highlights that Jehovah's purpose includes continuous learning for eternity. This perspective helps us be patient and appreciate the opportunity to keep growing in knowledge without limits in the future. Now we will answer the review questions, titled What Would You Answer? Question 1. Why is it good not to know when the end will come? It is good because it gives us the opportunity to show that we serve Jehovah out of genuine love and not just for an immediate reward. By not knowing the date, we cultivate patience, perseverance, and steady faith, focusing on staying spiritually active and fulfilling our Christian duties each day. Question 2. Why do we not need to know what will happen tomorrow to be happy? Because true happiness does not depend on having certainty about the future, but on trusting that Jehovah will always act for our good. This trust helps us live in the present with peace, without unnecessary worries, and make balanced decisions knowing that He is guiding our path. Question 3. Why is it good to accept that Jehovah knows us better than we know ourselves? Because Jehovah not only sees our weaknesses but also the potential that we sometimes do not recognize. Accepting this gives us confidence and encouragement to keep striving, knowing that He understands our struggles, appreciates our sincere efforts, and can help us become the person He knows we can be. Well, these have been the answers from this week's Watchtower study. I hope they are of great help to you, my dear brothers and sisters. We will see each other next week with a new video. I send you a warm hug, and may Jehovah bless and protect you always.